Big game, everyone's built it up, probably beyond its importance really, but you know, we're playing Man United at Old Trafford, and I've had very little team talk really to motivate the players, but you know, it's all about how we play tonight here and how we stand up to any pressure we're put under, and then how good we use the ball, because regardless of what people think about Man United's recent form, they're still a hell of a side to beat, and especially here at Old Trafford.
Any special plans for Andy Cole?
No, none at all. I mean, we know what Andy is, of course. We had him there for...
There he is.
There he is, yeah. We had him there for a marvellous 18 months, and, you know, he left on great terms, and people have tried to build all sorts of things around why he left and that. But, you know, I'd have him back tomorrow. He's a tremendous player. So no special plans for any of them, because if you look at Andy Cole, you've got Cantona to worry about. If you worry about those two, what about Giggs? And I'm hoping that Alex feels the same way as about Ginola and Ferdinand and Beardsley and Lee and Gillespie, you know.
All right, Kevin, thanks very much.
Thank
Good
you.
luck.
Andy Cole's messed me hair up, hasn't he?
Has rather, hasn't he?
Thank you, Richard. A plum appointment for tonight's referee, Paul Alcock. Manchester United to kick off, still second after those two defeats, partly down to postponements because of the wintry weather, partly down to Tottenham freezing in front of two opportunities to move above them in the table. And Newcastle looking to make 13 a lucky number if it becomes the difference between these two Uniteds by 8 o'clock tonight. Forward by Peacock. Here's Ferdinand. Keith Gillespie. His talents are well known in these parts. Just a little fear over the Christmas period that the groin strain that he picked up against Nottingham Forest on Saturday might keep him out tonight.
They'll be looking forward to this, man, but I just think he'd be a little nervous as well coming back here. And I think that early touch will do him the world of good, even though he did run it out of the pitch.
Well, don't be fooled by the apparently frosty look of the pitch. There's a nice amount of give in it. The undersoil heating stays on during the game. The temperature at soil level. Oh, Sanicek kicks it straight to Cantona. The temperature at soil level is about 10 degrees above freezing. The air temperature several degrees below. Sanicek's done well since he got another chance with Hislop being hurt at Chelsea. But what about Gary Neville and David May tonight? This new partner playing for Manchester United in the centre of their defending. And when you play Newcastle, whether it's away or at home, you expect to have to do plenty of defending. Beardsley. Ferdinand. Here's Clark. Barton. The league leaders trying to settle to their passing game. Neville came quite away with Ferdinand. Free kick given to Newcastle and taken very quickly by Beardsley.
You can bet Ryan Giggs has been told he must help Philip Neville whenever he can, just as he did there. That'll be part of his job tonight.
Rob Lee. Michael comes out and claims. And tries to pick out one number 7 that finds the other, Rob Lee. Ginola. Pick Gary Neville. Giggs, who's been suffering with a bruised foot. It's a little bit of a risk starting him in this game. But the stakes are high for Manchester United.
I think once the adrenaline's pumping through your veins, then things like bruised feet, well, you don't really notice them, man, unless you get another whack in it, of course. I notice already the way the ball's slicking across the surface. What that'll mean, there'll be a great emphasis on first touch and control. Because it will fly at you once the ball's been played at pace across the surface.
Dennis Irwin at right back, with Philip Neville playing on the left. Roy Keane, who came back with such authority against Leeds on Sunday. But Ever since Gary Pallister made his United debut in 1989, Manchester United have had either Pallister or Steve Bruce, and of course mostly both of them in their league side. Tonight, just to stress again, they've got neither. Gary Neville, who was a centre-back in a very successful youth team here, so it's not a foreign position for him, although he is, of course, England's current right-back.
I think that's where he's fortunate, Alex. So two vastly experienced players out. But he has got two fairly experienced players to put in there, both of them comfortable in that area.
Cantona, comfortable in most areas. It's Roy Keane. Beckham. I'm not sure how much Peacock knew about the block that he made, but it was an important one. But Cantona. Here's Keane, the goalkeepers.
That's more like the Roy Keane I expect to see tonight, Martin. Although he played wonderfully well against Leeds, I thought his job there was more of a defensive one. He was more controlled. And I would expect him to be doing what he did then, going forward, trying to make things happen there. And I agree with you. I'm not so sure Dan Peacock knew an awful lot about the Beckham shot.
Well, here's Rob Lee. Plenty of motoring from Manchester United tonight, in front of their own fans again. It's kicks to Cole! Well, Newcastle know all about him, and they're on the receiving end. Alec Ferguson is thrilled, Andy Cole is thrilled.
What a magnificent strike. And I bet you had you not scored at Leeds, you wouldn't have scored tonight. Watch the ball from Giggs. Quite magnificent. The finish, even better. That is all about Andy Cole. That is the quality this boy possesses. Takes it first time. That was a difficult thing. But look at the accuracy. Look at the power he got in from the side foot. It's a magnificent finish from Andy Cole.
And here's Ferdinand trying to reply straight away in kind for Newcastle. Beardsley. Well, he missed his kick. It's a corner. But what a hubbub at Old Trafford.
Oh, what a start for the match. We talked about big matches. If they get an early goal, they can turn into classics. Very much like the clash at Ellen Road. We have an early goal here. Well, could this yet be another classic? Thanks to that man.
But not just an early goal, a Cole goal. Ginola over the corner. Well, in his 22 months, Andy Cole at Newcastle, he became a legend in his own time, and rightly so, for this type of finishing ability.
I think the surprise from Pavel Srnicek as he took it first time. I honestly thought he'd take a touch. But look at the joy on the bench. We must have feared that.
Unfamiliar position for Newcastle to be behind in an away game. It's happened in their last 5 away matches. They've only lost one of those. That was at Chelsea.
You know, they'll be a little disappointed, man. They had enough men back. 3 of the back 4 were back. Lee Clark didn't go and engage Ryan Giggs when I thought he might. So they had plenty back. But it was the quality of the pass and then the quality of the finish that really made it all.
Keane. Philip Neville. Keane. What a change in Cole's demeanour. That happened on Christmas Eve when he received an early present, courtesy of Gary Speed's mistake. Cole took his chance and in that moment regained so much. Here's Owen. Well, it got through to Beckham. That rather surprised Newcastle. Owen, Cantona. Barton's not at his best in the air. It's keen shot. It was well directed.
He's happy to take it on the full as well, the goalkeeper. You know, this sitting about a yard in front of him there, posing a few problems off this surface. Doesn't this remind you of Ellen Road? The start from the home side.
The early goal from the home side.
Positive start, and how they lifted their game from there. And can Newcastle respond in the way Manchester United did?
Ginola. Ferdinand is flagged offside.
Well, as he comes inside, you can see it's very, very close. When the defender comes out, the forward's going in, it's always a difficult one for the linesman.
Barton. Lee. A good block by Philip Neville against Keith Gillespie. Well, he moved in the opposite direction when Andy Cole headed for Manchester. Gillespie. Taken clearly on the chest by Keane. He got close to Cole. Barton. Newcastle being hustled. They do some hustling of their own. Free kick earned by Beardsley. Well, all kicked away by Gary Neville. The referee, fortunately for him, was looking the other way.
The goalkeeper's crazy to be passing the ball to Gary Neville. Philip Neville, I think it was, like that. 2 or 3 black and white shots around him. He really had nowhere to go.
Beardsley just biding his time for a moment. Peacock is there, Ferdinand is there, Howie as well. Howie was the deepest of that particular trio, and Newcastle get another corner.
Well, this is important times for Manchester United. Again, they're a little bit short in the height department at the back. They rely so much on Keane and May in particular to be the ones to go and win it.
Stays at home. He'll have to reposition and reorganise as Newcastle have a corner now on the near side. Taken by Gillespie. Ginola who made contact, but that's where Bruce and Pallister are going to be missed if Newcastle can organise their set pieces properly.
Well, they have an advantage, there's no doubt about that, with Howie and Peacock, Ferdinand, Ginola. I think they do have an advantage in that department.
Ginola. Owen, there's no offside here, it's Cantona. Still, Cole's in the centre, Giggs coming from deeper. And now Cole, another side of goal, that might well have been going in as well. He's got the range.
That was a great block from Peacock. Again, I'm not so sure how much he knew of it, but he made himself big. I wonder if Keith Gillespie's got a problem, he stayed down. Great skill from Cantona, far right. Looked up, he saw that Cole was a difficult ball and he picked out Giggs. Watch away, makes a lovely bending run to keep himself onside. Now look, it's a difficult ball once he's beaten Howie to find Andy Cole. But he has a little look and he picks out Giggs. And as Cole peels away, he's thinking, I'm going to bend this far corner. Dan Peacock made himself a big target. But look at at this, man. This is what I'm saying. There's 3 defenders back there against Andy Cole. So they won't be too happy. Now, as they go on, Cole just pulls away around the back here. Lovely run. But he's still got a lot to do, Ryan Giggs. But it's, look at the way he slides it there now. There he's playing it. He's kept himself on the shoulder. He's just going to slide it through in there. And the rest is going to be about the quality of the finishing of Ryan Giggs. Oh, Ryan Giggs of Andy Cole, beg your pardon.
Well, there's a real contrast in emotions between the 2 players involved in that exchange deal last January that shocked us all, because while Andy Cole celebrates, Keith Gillespie is being stretchered off, concerned from Newcastle. This is how it happened.
Well, they're both running at it. He certainly catches his leg. I mean, it looks, well, I'm not so sure what it looked like, what he caught. Did he catch him on the ankle? Certainly both young players were flying at the ball with great determination.
Well, that's very sad for Keith Gillespie in particular, who was looking forward to this fixture so much. And they're taking him straight down to the dressing room. Newcastle, for the moment, playing with 10. Philip Neville. Watson is now stripped and waiting to come on, but it's Cantona taking Newcastle on. Keane.
Good try, good effort. Cantona again, the orchestrator, conducting it all, gets involved deep, comes and picks it up, always looking to pick players out who are free, dragging players in before he releases it, and that gives Keane the time and space to have a shot at goal. Just dragged it across the face a little. But ominous. Sorry,
this young man of many parts, Steve Watson, who's gone into the Gillespie role, at least for the moment. Jack venturing outside his area where he's had 1 or 2 problems in the past. He's had a few red cards over the last couple of seasons. It was all sorted out safely enough then.
Well, not only is it a blow that they've lost Keith Gillespie, I think it's, well, I'd be a little worried at the way Eric Cantona started this game. I thought he played excellently at Elland Road and was responsible for the way that Manchester United got himself back into the game. And he started very positively again tonight.
Ginola trying to reply along similar lines for his English club. The reason that Ginola and Cantona don't get on is some comments attributed to Cantona after Ginola cost France a crucial goal in the World Cup qualifier against Bulgaria, and in losing the ball actually lost the chance for France to get to the World Cup finals in the United States. Giggs has paid off to this point with that wonderfully perceptive pass to give Cole the chance that he took with such alacrity.
That's the other part of the game. Quality players will do that. That was a run many would have given up and let the ball run for a goal kick, but not Ryan Giggs. He knew if he could catch it, knock it out for a throw-in, then his team could keep the pressure on. And that's exactly what he did.
Newcastle came here as league leaders in this fixture last season, much earlier in the campaign, and they went home with their tails between their legs. They lost an unbeaten record, and Keith Gillespie was actually a scorer for Manchester United in that 2-0 win. His only Premiership goal at the Old Trafford Club. This is what caught Kevin Keegan's eye when it came to some negotiations later in the season. Outside.
Unlucky.
An indication that Newcastle had been buying players. Barton, Ferdinand and Ginola, of course, while Ferguson is kept metaphorically his hands in his pockets. Not so much money available perhaps, as you might expect, for the manager, with this wonderful stand being developed on the far side of the ground. But it's quite a talking point, those who've left Old Trafford as opposed to those who've arrived at Newcastle United. They left Leeds on Sunday wondering about Inks and Kanchelskis and Hughes of bygone times. But here's Cole very much at the moment, and Cantona.
Now, what a difference a goal makes. The way he pulled that very difficult ball out the air, Andy Cole. Knew exactly what he wanted to do with his first touch, drag it inside Steve Howe.
Especially this goal.
Oh yeah.
On this night. But there's Watson, the substitute. Beardsley. Lovely, typically breaking forward from midfield. Snuffed out though for the moment by Phil Neville. Well, not a good opening 20 minutes for Newcastle. They've lost a goal, they've lost a player. But his header went straight to Rob Lee. Keane allowed to go on. Beardsley and Butt were alongside that particular break at the outset of it. Keane well further forward now. Gets a free kick, although Peacock believes that Keane...
Well, Warren Barton's been bookmarked for kicking the ball away. I thought this was a free kick. He just eases out Roy Keane there. I think the referee's spot on with his decision. But Warren Barton didn't like it and kicked the ball away, and he's been booked for it.
There's no need for Roy Keane really to get involved in the argument. His volatility remains his vulnerability, but it was a rampant run. Gladdened the heart of Manchester United fans. Giggs takes the free kick. Newcastle making a meal of getting it away, and it comes to Cantona. And that masking of the injury that he got on Sunday. A head injury for Cantona at Leeds, and the problem for John Beresford here at Old Trafford tonight. Another Newcastle player injured.
Just lack of communication. Les Ferdinand made a hash of his first header and he was so determined to make up for it that he just really ran blind into John Beresford, who should have been taking the header. He was the one facing away from goal. He was the one that could clear it quite comfortably. A little bit lack of communication there.
There's some news from touchline level from our man Nick Collins. Nick.
Well, Martin, the word from the dressing room is that Kevin Gillespie stretched his groin. He's having ice treatment on it at the moment, but that's the reason that he was taken off, and that's why he won't be taking any further part in this game. It's a groin injury.
News, I'm sure, from Kevin Keegan about Keith Gillespie. Thanks, Nick. Well, John Beresford, who will be suspended from Newcastle's next match for that recent red card against Everton. They're due to play at West Ham, of course, bad weather permitting, on Saturday. Ginola, Ferdinand. If there's a soft centre in Manchester United's defence, we haven't seen it exposed as yet. May and Neville have made a good start, and so too have the rest of their team.
That's been the key. It's been what's ahead of him, Martin. It's what the midfield four have done in particular. Right across here, Giggs, Butt, Keane and Beckham have really protected their back four up till now so well. Things like that. Look at the way they're hustling them. Things that I think they maybe took from Leeds.
Lee and Cole just overcooking it a bit. Ferguson is such an arch competitor. His team's fired up by the manager, invariably dangerous opponents after defeats. Beresford. Ginola. He loves to come in on his right foot. Beardsley. Ferdinand. It loops up from Lee's shot. Similar sort of position that he found himself in when he opened the scoring on Saturday against Nottingham Forest.
He wasn't closed down as well as he was there. Again, it's one of the midfield quartet who's getting himself in the way. Ryan Giggs making himself big and blocking it. That's what they've done well, really well in midfield for. Not only have they done that well, Mark, when they've broken so well, particularly Giggs.
Well, they look like what we've come to expect from Manchester United. Barton supporting Watson. Peacock was just on his heels. Clark really didn't give him the best of passes. It was tentative in keeping with the way Newcastle have begun here at Old Trafford. But Kevin Keegan has a great philosophy about the game. He's expressed it so often. He wants to put out teams that simply, even if they do let goals in, are capable of getting more.
Is his philosophy, isn't it? We let in two, we'll score three.
Cantona. This is Keane. Now Beckham. Certainly on his favoured side, the right today. Having played Leeds on the left.
That was promising as well. Plenty red shirts forward in that attack. He was a little disappointed, David Beckham. It was a sloppy pass from a good position.
Well, you know, Manchester United have never lost 3 Premier games in a row. Obviously, that could happen tonight if Newcastle do recover. Owen penalised. Just warned by the referee, who's not been at all fussy about the incident, had a quiet word. Ginola shot. Used quickly by Schmeichel. He hasn't got the free kick that he wanted there, Ryan Giggs. Ferdinand. Watson. Overconfidence. It's a leading run from Watson. And Barton, his sidekick in the attack, again caught offside for the second time in a matter of minutes. But again, you talk about the number of attacking players they've got.
But you do include him.
You do, and Beresford down the other side.
We're quite happy. He's been in the wars already, John Beresford.
And caused by his own player, which adds a bit of insult to the injury. Peacock. Barton. Feet of Ferdinand from Watson. Watson trying to drill it across for Beardsley. Skill and sophistication of Cantona's game. Giggs and Butt get in each other's way, and it's Howie and it's Ferdinand, and there's no flag, but he couldn't emulate Andy Cole at the other end.
Yeah, they just get a little bit confident, overconfident in the midfield area. They got sloppy, that's what they did. And I think Les Ferdinand right on the edge of being offside, but he couldn't do what Tony Yeboah did so well at Ellen Road. Schmeichel, we've talked about how good he is, how big he keeps himself. He does it again, stays big, spreads himself so well, and he gets fortune when it hits the inside of his heel and goes for a corner.
Taken by Watson. Howie got to it. Beresford plotting it well as it dropped. Lee nicking it away from Keane. Watson. Lee. Watson again. First touch wasn't very good. Giggs trying to clip it for Keane, but there was too much curl on it. The best spell so far from the league leaders. Ginola having a try down the right-hand side. And Schmeichel showing that he's certainly, like his colleagues, very much aware of the responsibilities in this match.
Well, he's brilliant when he gets wide and he gets inside, outside players, and we know he can provide quality. And Peter Schmeichel, I think, knowing that they're a little bit short in height, I think with Bruce and Pallister around, he might have left that for one of them. But he's got to take on a little bit more responsibility in that department.
It's Philip Neville's pass, and Andy Cole gets clear, decides to check. Cantona. Now Philip Neville. Keane. Manchester United in front and prepared to play at their controlled tempo. Beckham. Irwin.
Straightforward passes tonight, Mark, that normally players wouldn't think about when they're controlling them, have to be concentrated on.
But now Beckham. Oh, wants it early again. Gets it. For Cantona, for Cole. Not quite. Clark. Ferdinand, who's had one chance on a ground on which he's never scored before. It's not a particularly happy hunting ground for Queen's Park Rangers. He didn't play in that famous 4-1 New Year's Day victory 4 years ago, although Darren Peacock, oddly enough, did. Came off Philip Neville's head.
Well, it's such a good start to this game. Opening half hour, both teams just going for it. Not a negative thought in either of their heads.
Clark. Beardsley. Gary Neville was helped out by Irwin. Beckham, nice passing from Manchester United again. Keane. Philip Neville going forward down the left, not too far from Keane's side. But Beckham. Oh, he's giving it away. Ginola won't get away. Gary Neville will see to that. That sums up really what we've seen to this point. The jeers because it was Ginola on the end of it, and the Frenchman's having to live with this reputation of going down when the challenge isn't too strong. Well, this was certainly a strong challenge.
Well, there was no doubt who was winning that tackle. There was no doubt who was the more determined. And it certainly wasn't the Frenchman.
Kevin Keegan has enjoyed two wonderful weekends watching his team win on the Saturday and joining us on Sky Sports watching Manchester United lose on the Sunday. It's now Beresford has handled here.
That'll be a booking, Mark. It's got to be. It was deliberate handball and it stopped what was a very promising opportunity.
Shocked us all, and Newcastle feel that this might be mistaken identity.
Well, it is, Mark, because I've mistaken Warren Barton
was booked earlier. The referee has apologised, and John Beresford is just about getting his thoughts back together again. Kevin Keegan maybe hasn't quite got the message. He has now. The look-alike fullbacks. Beckham takes, and it won't quite reach Cantona. Ferdinand saw to that.
Funny that, I got a little note from John Beresford regarding that. I remember against Wimbledon when he broke really well down the left mark and squared it for Les Ferdinand.
You called him Warren Barton.
And I called him Warren Barton, and he wasn't best pleased about that.
Well, the blondes confused Paul Alcock. He was quick enough and man enough to apologise. Newcastle might be able to break here, but Clark slipped at the key moment. Howie. Manchester United really going about their business as the side that has been saying all along, all the sound emanating from the Old Trafford camp, we have to win. They are leading. But they face Steve Watson here. Ginola. No one going in on it. Ferdinand was standing on the edge of the area.
Well, it was a shot, simple as that he didn't quite get. I mean, it ends up a decent ball, in all honesty. And maybe had Peter Beardsley gambled a little going in on it, he might well have got on the end of that. But there's no doubt he was going for the shot. But what an atmosphere here tonight.
It's very different from the two previous games for the Man United fans. They're playing their part. This is Newcastle they're facing, a side capable of magic at any moment. John Beresford very much still with us, bloodstains and all. Red on the shirt, yellow from the referee in the end.
When you play Newcastle and you're a defender, Matt, you know you have to concentrate for 90 minutes. That's what it's all about. Because you're quite right, they can spring at any time from anywhere on the pitch, right, left or central, and provide an opportunity for someone to score a goal.
Manchester United's worst run since November '92. 5 games without a win, of course, 3 draws and the 2 defeats. That's the worst pass they played from the back. It came from David May. As he loves to do, letting fly, cutting inside. All his 3 goals for Newcastle have come in that style.
Manchester United's problems have been of their own making in this first half. It's when they've given the ball away in silly areas, midfield areas of 1 or 2 sloppy passes, and even at the back there with David May and Gary Neville occasionally, they've given the ball away in very dangerous areas.
Beardsley. Ginola. Here's the voracious Andy Cole, and Keane, similarly aggressive and ambitious in his play. Flicked on by Clark. Irwin. Newcastle, but they're not getting very far. And again, it's Butt. Beresford, reflecting the sense of purpose from the side of the behind, but also reflecting that they haven't played to full capacity yet. Ferdinand. Gary Neville's gone across. Clark, Barton. Ferdinand, far post. He's a bit annoyed that Barton decided to try for goal himself, even though the deflection didn't pass too far away from Newcastle's number 9. Barton in another advanced position. Ferdinand. Well, he didn't connect. Cantona in control. Giggs ahead of him, his movement to the right. Here's Beckham. Plenty of red shirts forward. But Cantona, no one in the area where he was placing the ball or trying to get to that area.
That's all he tried to do, was drop in a dangerous area. I think he had a look at Beckham earlier on the move. And such is the speed of thought. He thought that the young lad was continuing his run. He actually put the brakes on.
Yes, I think Beckham was worried about going offside. Don't forget, this is just the start of your football entertainment tonight on Sky Sports. We follow this top-of-the-table clash with Bolton very much at the bottom against Leeds United, who played so well on Sunday to beat Manchester United. Can they sustain it? They've set some high standards over the past few days. Keane. It's important that Neville did enough then to stop Ferdinand.
It has been noticeable there's been, well, more misplaced passes than you would expect from between these two teams. And I think an awful lot of that has to do with the surface. It is very, very tricky. Perhaps the pace of the pass hard to judge.
What you've actually got is frozen grass, but warm soil, if you can understand that. The groundsman, Keith Kemp, was trying to flatten it down so the grass actually made contact with the soil, which is being warmed from underneath by this network of pipes. Make the pitch definitely playable, but needing supreme judgment. Cantona. Keane. Cantona making light of the difficulties underfoot, and Cole has pulled away into that position again. Oh, back towards Keane, and Steve Howie, who found his own goalkeeper in the end.
That's a great idea from Cole. I wonder if ever crossed his mind though just to cushion it for himself. I thought on his right side he could have just dropped the ball in front of him for an instant strike. But it was a fabulous run from Keane, and the ball only just fractionally behind him. But once again, the Manchester United Frenchman at the heart of the move.
Just after that, Beardsley played a ball up to Ferdinand, which he couldn't control, and it was noticeable a lack of support for Les Ferdinand as it broke off him. Oh, and he's penalised.
Well, every decision that goes for David Ginola is going to be greeted with that.
And that's going to be true in every away game he plays.
I mean, I think you can see there that the referee has a very good case for penalising Dennis Irwin. He's been booked for his, well, they've gone on a little bit too long with the...
Down goes Watson. Typical crisp tackle from Butt. Just on this time, game goes on. Butt's in there again. And play on it is because Newcastle got the ball. Watson. Just looking at Paul Alcock to see whether he's going to have a word with Nicky Butt. Now the ball's gone out, but the two are close enough to happen, but facing in opposite directions.
I think he was quite happy with the tackle. He was just telling the players, I don't mind, that's good enough for me, play on. I think it's important that, you know, when people are... Well, he didn't get him, did he? Look at the referee there, that is a definite free kick, that one. The referee's let him get on with it the majority of the time. I think he's done well so far.
Cantona. Cole, not through the crowd. And then it loops over from Beckham.
Well, it's fairly raced by this first half, isn't it? 42 minutes gone already.
Hard to believe. And Newcastle will feel that they have more to offer in this match than they've shown us in the first 43 minutes.
We've certainly got food for thought at half-time.
By the run of Lee. Cantona. Again, Neville has played it into a channel that Cole has been able to fill. Cantona goes on, demands the ball, gets it. Keane's in the centre, Beckham's unmarked at the far post, and he was spotted by Cantona, who couldn't find him.
Super break again. Controls football out of defence, but it was so quick.
Beardsley. Once, of course, of Manchester United before he even joined Newcastle for his first spell at the club. Robley. Here's Butt. Watson joining Ferdinand in the centre. Schmeichel doesn't really deal with it decisively. Well, they got a little bit lucky as Beckham stretched on the far side and diverted it across the edge of his own penalty area, but there was no harm done. And now Cantona hands on hips, wondering why neither Butt nor Beckham got to that one.
It was a little bit loose from Eric. First loose pass he's played tonight. I suppose he's entitled to one after 43 minutes.
But Newcastle, who've never beaten Manchester United in the Premier League. Beardsley. All Beardsley could do was really head it on. Beckham did well to close it and give him a problem. Owen picked it off, found Beckham.
He needed to hold that, Martin. Dennis Irwin was coming up on the outside of David Beckham. They had a wonderful 2-against-1 against John Beresford.
Schmeichel's coming. And David May, I think, was pleased about that. Made up his mind.
So often goalkeepers come into that area with no real hope of getting the ball, and you often wonder what they're doing there, but I think the goalkeeper was right there. He knew he was going to get there first.
Well, it's 1-0 to Manchester United as we come towards half-time. Manchester United have only kept 5 clean sheets in 19 league games to this point, which is most untypical of them. David May has a problem, and Alec Ferguson has had so many difficulties with his central defenders. Bruce and Pallister out, Paul Parker down with flu, and David May picking up a problem right on half-time in that wrestle with Ferdinand.
Well, David May did exactly what he should do. He just stands his ground and lets the ball drift harmlessly. And Les Ferdinand just well. A little bit of frustration there, I'm sure, from Les. I don't think Alec will be best pleased if David May has to go to the sidelines.
Well, he has got, amongst his substitutes, an international centre-back who's never played in his league side, Pat McGibbon of Northern Ireland. David Fever, the physio here, getting David May on to what Manchester United will hope is a precautionary stretcher.
Well, he'd be incredibly unlucky if he has to go for something happening there.
But it's Brian McClare, even at this stage, who seems to be getting ready to come on. You would expect them to perhaps wait until half-time unless the diagnosis is that serious and something that can be determined that quickly.
Yeah, it's going back on, I think. So the tracksuit's going back on.
That would be the sensible approach, yeah.
Unless they're so definite.
Gives them an extra 15 minutes before making a decision, because it is half-time. So many rallying cries coming out of Old Trafford today, and Andy Cole has answered them with a goal against the club where he really made his reputation. And Manchester United can look back on a tremendous first half from their point of view. Newcastle not really showing themselves in the best possible light. They trail at half-time at Old Trafford by 1-0.
might not be in 45 minutes. And after that, there's more live football from Burnden Park. Bolton Wanderers, who are bottom, 5 points adrift down there, against Leeds United, who of course beat Manchester United last Super Sunday 3-1. So they're in some form at the moment. And they're coming back at Old Trafford. Last final thought, Barry, what can we expect this half?
Well, the first half, Peter Beardsley and Rob Lee were very quiet on this, so I think you can expect a little bit more from those two. They've been a big influence on Newcastle earlier in the season, and I think they need to get them playing. Roy Keane, you know, has pretty much held the midfield steady in there, and they've got to try and get in and settle the Manchester United midfield. Those are the two men who can do that.
United, steady as you go.
Steady, but I wouldn't like to see Manchester United try and sit back and hold on to what they've got. I think they've got to try and counter-attack.
Let's go back and rejoin Andy Gray and Martin Tyler.
You're back with the news that Brian McClare is on for the second half, and it means another change at the back for Alec Ferguson, who feels that the constant altering of his back line has been the reason for Manchester United faltering. Roy Keane lines up alongside Gary Neville in the centre of the defence. McClare goes into his usual midfield role. David May falling prey to that injury just before half-time. Newcastle beaten only twice this season. 1-0 at Southampton, 1-0 at Chelsea. They're 1-0 down at Old Trafford. Andy Cole has seen to that. So far, so good for Manchester United to this point. McClare. Cantona. Cole and Beckham attracted to the same ball, which wasn't played with a true accuracy. Cech taking exaggerated care with his kicking. Beardsley trying to thread it through for Ferdinand. Now, if the referee had called that a foul by Phil Neville, the young defender would have been in serious trouble. Ferdinand fell.
Well, it looks a foul, I have to say, Mark. That's a great ball from Beardsley. Flicks it across the surface, looking at pick up pace, and Les lets it run. Well, it's clumsy, but he certainly catches Les Ferdinand. I think he is attempting to get the ball, but Les just uses his body to try and turn away from him, and he gets caught. And I think the fact that Roy Keane was around, and all things being equal, I don't think that the red card would have been shown had the free kick been given, but I certainly thought it was a free kick.
Paul Alcock, who has taken one Manchester United name to this point, and that was Dennis Irwin for dissent after that little episode with Ginola on the far side. David May's injury, incidentally, is a hamstring problem. He's had rough luck this season. Ferdinand's on his feet. So many comparisons, I'm sure, being made up and down the land between Les Ferdinand and Andy Cole. Cole took his goal absolutely superbly, set up with the perfect pass from Ryan Giggs. Ferdinand had one chance and Peter Schmeichel kept him out. But to be fair to Ferdinand, Cole has been supported by the better team performance. But Watson.
It was a tricky surface in the first half, Mark. As the temperature drops, as I'm sure it will in the next 45 minutes, it could get even trickier.
There's about 1,000 Newcastle fans officially here. It hasn't been an easy journey for them, given all the bad weather up in the northeast. And it's not easy viewing at the moment. Now he's having Bart to play it back, but he had other ideas. Steve Watson staying in the Keith Gillespie position. No doubt that injury has hampered Newcastle. I suppose Kevin Keegan's got the option of moving Rob Lee out there. He's played there before, but that's changing another aspect of the team.
Well, he has made one change, Martin, at half-time. That's David Ginola, who's playing up front alongside Les Ferdinand at the moment. Peter Beardsley's tucked in this left side. And perhaps they felt that Les had a little bit lack of support in the first half. And Ginola's performance against Nottingham Forest was such a good one in that type of area, in the central area.
For 45 minutes, he played up there in the first half and scored, of course. So and they switched it in the second half.
You know, we need a bit more of that.
Well, it might suit both parties, Ginola and Beardsley. And if it does, it could help Newcastle get something from this crucial game. But Beckham for Cole. And Giggs off the top of the bar.
What a glorious chance for Giggs. Did everything right, lifted it, got it up over the goalkeeper. But Cole's run here was superb. Off the back of Darren Peacock, and the ball through to him, a great one. He just knocks it for Giggs. Goalkeeper stayed big. You could see what Ryan was trying to do, just trying to curl it with his right foot, looking for accuracy, bend it past the goalkeeper. He thinks he's done it, so do the fans. So frustrating as it just hits the top of the woodwork.
Well, the same two players involved at a similar stage of the half as they were when Manchester United took the lead. It was so nearly extended then. Beardsley gets past McClare. Gary Neville got to him. Took a little bit of a blow in the process around the rib area. Howie climbing well, but well, the fact that they've been stuttering recently might prey on Manchester United minds at this stage. Absolutely no margin for error.
Well, that's for sure. One or two young faces on that side as well. It's a time for experience to guide them through.
Well, Alec Ferguson, partly by circumstance, partly because he really believes in them, has asked so much of the youngsters here at Old Trafford this season, with the senior players that I mentioned in the first half gone. But it's a long old haul at this level of the game, and there have been signs in recent weeks of the strain showing on some of them. Gary Neville has been consistent, buoyed, of course, by his progress even beyond this level. And he's a natural leader. Call him perhaps the Steve Bruce of the future. He's playing in Bruce's position today. Irwin. Beckham took that very well. And he keeps it in. Cantona keeping running. Tracked by Lee. Corner for Manchester United. Which appeals to the considerable sense of adventure possessed by Roy Keane, who's made a long run up to add some aerial power. There isn't too much in this Manchester United side. Beckham bends it in. Retrieved by Cole. Phil Neville. Keane wants it again, and Keane has got it. Roy Keane for Manchester United. That's absolutely wonderful.
Oh, what a finish. What a ball from Beckham. The way he looked up, Ryan Giggs almost had a go at him for not giving him a short pass. But Beckham looked up, spotted Keane's run round the back. And what composure. Look at the way. Watch Giggs come into the picture. Look, he wants it. Give me it, he's saying. Give me the ball. You can't have it, he says. I've spotted something. When you want composure, well, Roy Keane had all of that and more. What a finish.
Roy Keane makes it 2-0, and Newcastle United are rocking here, and they've been cut apart by quality. It was Philip Neville, Andy, who played it on the far side.
They're all young, those boys, all I can say. But what a ball it was, wasn't it? Just when we talked about Cole first half, when he elected to play Keane in, maybe he could have cushioned it. Keane just took the pace off the ball. And as quick as you like, the next moment it was in the back of the net.
But right back to the initial corner, he'd come up saying, I want the header, I want to be involved, and, well, at his best, he is certainly amongst the best. Now, what can Kevin Keegan's men come up with in some real adversity here? All right, you could say that they can afford to lose this game. They certainly won't be saying that. And sometimes for the front runners, well, it is a very long race to win from the front. And there was a chance to get one back for Lee Clark.
That's half a chance, isn't it? In fact, it's more than that. Right when you're normally at your weakest, you're most vulnerable, right after you score. Look at the edge of the box, 18 yards, look how open he is. It's just a bit unlucky. It was just on the way up as he made contact with it, and he just helped it up into the air. Now listen to this place.
Cole, great control from him. Cantona. It won't get to Irwin. Broken up by Beresford's interception. But Ferdinand was watching and waiting, and Neville stepped in with real authority. Here's Beckham. But well, even when they're having a sticky part of their season, playing Manchester United, beating Manchester United is a barometer. And Newcastle at the moment feeling as chilly as the temperatures up in the northwest of England. 2 goals of top class in a top match. Irwin, Cole, and both goals for Manchester United, who are hunting again with Giggs. It was a skimmer.
That was always worth following in, as Eric Cantona did.
Well, that was slightly misjudged by Neville, but Michael sweeps it up and knocks it away.
It's just so typical. They've been first to everything. They've looked sharper in the tackle. They've been quicker to the balls that have dropped. The 50-50s have won the majority of them. Newcastle just really haven't got out of first gear. And I think that's a credit to Manchester United rather than a criticism of Newcastle.
Trying to make something happen. Despite the appeals from Phil Neville, it is a corner.
Well, this is a threat in the area. Having lost one of their main headers, David May, at half-time, it's even more important that they concentrate and don't allow free headers from set pieces.
And it's even more important for Newcastle they deliver some quality. Schindler who got to it, Peacock trying to set himself, ball didn't drop. Beardsley, that's beautifully delivered for Clark. He was challenged quickly by Beckham. This is Keane, action man.
Trouble. He popped a few passes about, they were getting penned in, they were getting closed down, and then just pop it back to your goalkeeper, reorganise, get your back four intact, and out you come again. You've got the 2 goals, the match is yours, it's won, if you don't do anything stupid. It's up to Newcastle now to, well, I think full caution to the win would be the right thing.
What they really do have here, without going crazy in the last half an hour or so, and is a chance to show the rest of the league that perhaps Newcastle aren't quite as good as their league position shows, and all the emphasis on their 10-point advantage. Was there away results after a very good start in that respect that cost them so much last season? It's Cantona. Cole's waiting by the far post. Cantona has to check. Beckham is there. Beardsley. Walks fine and fair, but not intentionally in the mind of the referee. Beckham. Cantona. Giggs is fouled. Barton has followed him across.
He certainly fancy this himself, Ryan. It's made for a left footer. He just looks to roll Warren Barton, who can't stop. The surface doesn't help him. But Beckham will fancy it. He's got power. Giggs has certainly got craft. Irwin maybe round the outside of the wall.
Cantona's there as well.
They'll get those options.
And Barton's got on the post. Now steps up. It's Irwin, and he got underneath it. Well, we talk about Roy Keane's drive and his desire, but his sheer footballing ability as well.
It's a great finish.
And it means a great, great deal. Not been very well, Alec Ferguson, over the holiday period. I can assure you he's feeling a lot better at the moment. Peacock stopping that being a true ball from Schmeichel to Cole. Clark. Here's Watson. Hasn't been as far forward in the second half as that. He went too far forward then. Jerry Lee spotted him, the linesman.
Good communication that along the back. Manchester United just held the line, allowed Peter Beardsley to drift harmlessly offside. It's not often you watch Newcastle, but there's been an hour of play, and they've only made the goalkeeper work once, which is all they've done to Peter Schmeichel. Les Ferdinand, really good chance in the first half. I can't remember a big Dane being in action apart from that.
Watson, now Barton. I just feel they might be putting in a few crosses for Les Ferdinand from any sort of angle. This is a good angle, and it's over Ferdinand. But Schmeichel is the main defensive bastion in the air. Giggs, Beckham is clear. Goalkeeper comes, saves well. Cole follows up.
Wow, what a great double save from Srnicek. I'm sure he got on the band at Coles as well. What a break from Manchester United. 4 against 3 they had. Schmeichel spotted it so quickly. Giggs demanded it. And watch this for a ball. Through it as he comes out. Great block there. Cole thinks I've got it. Again, Srnicek spreads himself well. Super double save from the goalkeeper.
As though it was going to go out for another corner. Cantona. There gets the better of Beardsley. Owen wants it, and John Beresford is very fleet of foot, nippily across to cut it out. Well, Newcastle trying to come out, but we've just seen the dangers if they overcommit. Gaping hole through the middle that Beckham galloped into. Manchester United with the goal attempts. And high proportion on target. But
that's the best way to protect your back four if you're worried about height. Stop the crosses going in.
But when they cross the ball, they've got to make sure they keep the centres away from Schmeichel, not just because he can catch them, but because within seconds he's launched the counter-attack. And well, when you saw Beckham, it could have been Kanchelskis. So quickly it had happened.
There's a much better shape to the side this evening than there was on Sunday, Mark. Beckham and Giggs providing that natural width. They both can tuck in, and both do tuck in quite naturally, but when they lost the ball tonight, they've just tucked back and got the 4 in midfield and really worked tremendously hard.
His hands particularly on the left, Andy,
yeah,
where Giggs is there. And Beckham, who was on the left at Leeds, is much happier working the right-hand side of the pitch.
from Phil Neville. But keeps giving it away to Ginola. For Ferdinand, and Ferdinand managed to stay onside, but had no chance of collecting the pass. Cantona and Howie. And Cernicek. Internationals all from a variety of nations, as football is going to become even more so. Ferdinand. Lee. Well, the willingness is there for Newcastle, but it's just not happening.
Even that summed it up for them, doesn't it? Someone like Peter Beardsley, a bread and butter normally, a bread and butter piece of control for him. And I do think they set the stall out really well, the home side. Came out, fired up, got the early goal.
That's the key, isn't it?
Yeah, they've grown in confidence.
The early goal.
They've grown in confidence from that moment, settled the young kids down.
And an early one in the second half as well, to increase the belief. Howie, Beardsley. Coming here is a tall order for any team, even a team as high and mighty as Newcastle United have shown themselves to be this season. Manchester United haven't lost here for more than a year. In the league, that is. It shows how well York City did earlier this season. "25 minutes left, and Peter Schmeichel is in no hurry.
Particularly that man in your picture. I think he's been magnificent the way he's set his stall. He's been the one. He's been the tiger in there.
And he's been happier moved into the middle.
Exactly.
We saw him in a wide position at Leeds as well. Cantona, Mickey Butt, Beckham. Game, and no one's wanting to risk giving the ball away, playing it too far forward from deep. Beardsley against Irwin.
Once again, the men in red of the answer.
Beresford. Here's Clark. Barton's on the move. Rob Lee has spotted him. Warren Barton lets fly, and judging from Schmeichel's lack of reaction, it was always going to go well wide. But of course, after that comes the typical Schmeichel reaction to berate somebody for allowing Barton to have the temerity to try and score.
I think it was just saying to Philip Neville, close him down a bit quicker, and then Philip Neville just in a little go at his captain Eric Cantona, who just let Warren Barton run off him really. See a lot, sorry man, you just don't see a lot happening from Newcastle at the moment. You just wonder, I know we talked about goals from everywhere, but you wonder actually where a goal will come from at the moment.
Darren Peacock is in danger here of getting himself in trouble for dissent. He's unhappy that the corner's been given.
Great perseverance from Giggs. Look, you know what he wants to do, he wants to let it run, but Giggs is saying I'm having none of that. I think it was probably Giggs' foot that just ran it out, but it was a close one to call.
It might well have been a free kick for obstruction. The ball had seemingly gone beyond playing distance for Peacock. Corner it was, a corner that Manchester United haven't fully used to their advantage. Cantona. Flagging. Ginola. Beardsley's gone through the centre. Barton did see him but couldn't find him. Well, they're getting ready at Burnden Park, where Bolton take on Leeds United later this evening. Trevor Francis there with Rob Hawthorne for us. You'll see the whole game live as soon as we've finished at Old Trafford. Cole. Now he's off the pitch. Cantona's in the middle, and Peacock is neither one thing or the other, so Cole flashes it across the face of the goal.
Great effort. He's apologised, I think, for the first ball that he didn't quite pick out Eric Cantona with. He really shaped his body very well to deal with the second one and hit it well. Now he's trying to just face this across for Eric Cantona and didn't really get enough on it. But as this comes back to him, just watch the way he shapes his body. Trying to bend it in that far corner. And he almost got enough bend on it.
Well, you were wondering where Newcastle might get a goal from, and Kevin Keegan decided to make a change to help that, and Paul Kitson getting ready to come on. Beardsley. Ginola. Rob Lee has been quiet tonight compared to his recent exceptional form. There's the keeper getting applause, not just from the crowd but from his teammates as well, for a very cool piece of defending. Owen. Really coming back to do some important defending of his own. Beresford. Roy Keane is an accomplished central defender, although he doesn't like playing there. It keeps him out of the real engine room. Cole is offside. And now Lee Clark will come off for Newcastle. The free kick is taken too quickly. Kitson will have to wait.
What a night to be waiting around.
Ferdinand. It was Keane who stopped him. Cantona. Giggs herring through the centre. Cantona's found him. And Darren Peacock has found the ball.
Manchester United really don't have to do anything now, Mark, except keep their back four intact, make it difficult, and just say, well, come on then, we're prepared to soak it up. And then we've always got Keane, we've always got Cantona and Giggs and Cole to rely on, allied with Beckham's pace as well to catch them up if we want another one. And that's always going to be a threat.
Well, the change will be made at the corner. Paul Kitson actually scored in 2 games against Manchester United last season. In the Premiership, of course, the week after Andy Cole had left, Kitson got a goal, which was very timely, in a 1-1 draw at St James's Park. He also scored earlier in the season in a League Cup meeting between the two clubs. So he's on. Steve Watson will take the corner. Headed back in by Lee. Well, the theory big enough to defend in the air is not bearing fruit in practice.
They're actually good playing Les Ferdinand really well. Ryan McClare's almost standing facing Les Ferdinand saying, go on then, I'm going to make it as difficult as possible. And Roy Keane's taking him if he gets past him.
It's good passing again from the home side. Cole, Cantona, Malcolm Sanjek. No time to waste for Newcastle. Peacock. Plenty of room here for Beardsley, the centre circle to himself for a moment. Ginola. Well, team was training, but they did enough.
Got enough on it, didn't they? Just got to be careful they don't back off too deep at times and just invite this sort of cross into the 6-yard area.
Wouldn't you have expected more crosses from Newcastle?
I would have, yes. But I think sometimes teams are programmed so much at times, Mark, it's difficult to change. And they're programmed to pass the ball. And I think at half-time I thought Kevin would surely have been saying to him, listen, we have a huge advantage surely. Let's give Les Ferdinand some aerial service and see if he can get anything. Even if he's not getting it for goal, he'll win them, he'll knock them down. Let's get players running off him.
Ginola takes the low road. This is Kitson. Ginola again. It's not picked up high enough, but it might yet come Ferdinand's way. It comes for Beardsley. Watson is in there. Keane climbed beautifully again. Cantona. Poise again in possession for Manchester United. Giggs will get to this one. Cole is free. Beautifully played. Andy Cole goes in. Oh dear.
He's unlucky. It's a horrendous bobble. But again, there's a threat, isn't it? You're defending 1 minute, you're attacking, as Newcastle are. Suddenly you're almost conceding a third. And it's not been for a nasty bobble just as he pulled the trigger. It might well have been a third.
Beardsley, so it stays at 2. It so easily could have been 3, and it would have been a third in keeping with the quality of the other 2. It was beautifully conceived by Manchester United. And a great tackle by Butt. Ginola. Beyond Philip Neville.
I find it hard to get beyond any of that back four. I think Fergie would be absolutely delighted with the performance of the 5, including David May in the first half.
And this is Kitson. There's Keane again, where he was needed. Beardsley, cleverly made a little bit of space for himself. Watson.
Well, if it was a shot, it was an ambitious one. Whether he's just trying to fire this across the face of the goal, I think he probably is, but if it was a shot, it was an ambitious one. But 2 great balls here, one from McClare, and Giggs just knows where Cole is, and that one from from Giggs. But just as he goes in there, it sits up, takes a horrendous bobble, and, well, screws it wide.
I think we spared Andy Cole's blushes there. Or perhaps the groundsman's. This is Beresford. Just got a touch, but it perhaps helped Watson. But he's not Gillespie. He's doing his best out there. Beardsley. Now Ferdinand. And Keane again, critically, as Les Ferdinand was about to pull the trigger. McClare. Newcastle. With Ginola. Universal descent on the far side.
All round. I think we could all see that.
Throw given against Giggs. He couldn't believe it. Neville got the first block. Philip Neville, that is. Martin on the ball. Now Ferdinand. to the linesman. Finally, Manchester United feel that justice has been served. It's the highest attendance in the FA Carling Premiership this season.
Befitting the importance of the game.
But there's more to come as more of this ground gets open to the public. The eventual capacity will be more than 55,000. Beckham repositioned well to find Cole. Beardsley coming back. Cole to Beckham. Not much else Howie could do. Just over 10 minutes to go. Even with the two-goal cushion that he's given Manchester United, Roy Keane still attracted forward at the corner when he might have stayed back. McClare, Ferdinand got to it, Giggs, with shimmy to the right. Lee. Ginola. And Keane is there on his way back to win it back.
Well, I'll just get a tackle in as I'm going back to the back four. A really good team performance from Manchester United. You know, I couldn't pick a bad performance from any of the players, man. You don't often say that in football.
Well, you're a few minutes away from having to pick the best performance.
It ain't easy, I tell you. There's plenty of contenders.
Peacock. Dixon, like those before him, finding it hard to get going.
Probably Peter Schmeichel's got the only one not in contention, man. He's not had enough to do. And I think that's probably been the root cause of Newcastle tonight. They haven't asked enough. They haven't been able to that lovely flowing football that they're known for. It just hasn't happened for them tonight. You can't always play well. You won't go through a season playing great all the time. They're going to have games like this when they're not going to play well. When they haven't played well up till now, they've dug out a result. They're going to have to dig awfully deep in the last 10 minutes if they're going to get a result tonight.
Lee. Yes, they're going to have to play like champions over the last 10 minutes. When over 80, they found it difficult to come up with the credentials. Just thinking Schmeichel would probably tell you, but for that save from Les Ferdinand, it would be a bleak picture for Manchester United. Oh, and Sonijek had to make sure he got plenty behind that from Butt.
Well, it zipped across the surface again. Anything that's hit along the surface will pick up speed. And it's just as it bounces a couple of times, bending away from the goalkeeper.
Ginola flicked it on, but this game is going live to French television. They will have seen less of Ginola and much more of Cantona, the two who are trying to impress the national team manager to get their international places back for Euro 96, when of course France play at St James's Park. Manchester United have attempted has come off, and so little for Newcastle. Cantona. Oh, and Buck had a bad bounce then. Ferdinand turns past Butt. Beresford.
Look at the red shirts in the picture, Mark. Two banks of four back there now. Eight defenders.
Schmeichel was attracted towards it, but Gary Neville said, I'll deal with that one, come on. Clean sheet is a fantastic achievement here with depleted forces at the back.
Yeah, this is a good header.
Ferdinand.
Well, that was the danger, that was the threat we've talked about all second half, and we're now in the 84th minute, 85th minute. And it's about the first time they put one in an area that Ferdinand can get up and attack. But even then, Roy Keane's just doing enough, just nudging him in the back a little bit to make the header an uncomfortable one. Just listen to this place now. They now believe that the result is in the bag, and so do I. And that Manchester United are about to close the gap.
Newcastle lost here 2-0 last season. And really you can trace their decline from that point. Although they came here with a slightly depleted side then. Andy Cole missed that match, and he was still a Newcastle player. Lee, Beardsley. Watson. 5 minutes plus stoppage time left. Been very sure-footed tonight. Peacock. Ferdinand. Well, he can't get past Keane. Just picked up a little bit of a knock in making that challenge. Giggs. Thinking of that famous Newcastle song, the tune of Winter Wonderland. Kevin Keegan. We've not heard any of that tonight. It's been a wintry night of wonder for Manchester United. Just what Alex Ferguson was calling for. He's feeling the cold as Newcastle are feeling the pinch here. More like it for Manchester United. McClare, there's no one to the right, so it has to go somewhat centrally. Cole's covered a lot of ground. Ferdinand. Watson the fourth to join the attack. Beardsley makes it 5. Ferdinand. That's a huge chest of his, once again anticipated by Keane. Watson. Beardsley. And Ferdinand's flick falls only for Brian McClare. Keeping the ball was all Manchester United needed to do, but Cantona wanted more than that. Giggs. Well, in fact, Eric Cantona actually ran into Ryan Giggs' space, but with the ball out of play, and the man of the match.
Well, as I said, there have been many contenders, Mark, all of them in red shirts. I think Cantona and Giggs at the top end of the pitch have been excellent. But there's been two to choose from, in my opinion. 9 times out of 10, a young lad in midfield will get man of the match from me for his performance, Nicky Butt. But there's been an absolute giant, and because of that, he's been shaded. And that's the man who's just gone across there to clean up at the back, as he's done so often. Scored a vital ball, he's been a giant, his performance magnificent. The Carling Premiership man of the match is Roy Keane.
Ferdinand. Watson. Cantona can turn. Cole to try and stay onside. Giggs lurking on the left. Chance to really rub Newcastle's noses in it now with Cantona!
Yeah, that would have finished the night off just beautifully for Alex Ferguson and his boys.
Beckham. Here's Cole. so to go for Manchester United to not just celebrate the victory, but the way it's been achieved.
I don't think when we talk to Kevin afterwards, I'm sure we will have any arguments about the result. The best side by far on the night is about to win the match.
Against the side that up to this point have been the best by far in the country. Let's not forget that. Alex Ferguson knew tonight some ground had to be made up. And his players recognise that fact as well. And there is Keane yet again. You'd think when he had to switch to centre-back at the start of the second half, the manager was probably saying, well, that's a bit of a blow, we'll miss him in midfield, he might get a goal for us. He's still got the goal. And it just seemed to be in the script that Andy Cole would be a scorer tonight. Necessity, the mother of invention, and when Manchester United badly needed to rediscover their winning touch, they've done so. Two terrific goals. Andy Cole early in the first half, and Roy Keane early in the second half, taking them a solid stride nearer to Newcastle. 7 points the gap as Kevin Keegan's team, godlike in the eyes of their fans, are reminded of their own mortality. A third defeat of the season for them, their biggest defeat of the season so far. And they've now won none of their last 6 away from St James's Park. Whether that's significant, we shall see. Travel problems, which badly weakened their case last season. But the honours tonight go to Manchester United. Where the honours go at the end of the season, well, it's become that much more debatable. But Andy, I think a final thought tonight, well played Manchester United.
It was a big night for Manchester United in their quest to regain the championship mark. A big night and a night they just couldn't lose. They couldn't draw. They just had to win, in my opinion, or the league race was over. They did win, but what's more important, they won convincingly with a quality performance. And in amongst that quality, 2 magnificent goals.